gold has continued higher in the international markets as Fed Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke would signal that more stimulus could be needed, weakening the dollar and increasing demand for alternative investments. Immediate delivery gold rose as much as 0.5% to 1626, and that's how it's trading even at this point in time. The Indian gold prices in the meanwhile have declined because of the rupee calculation. So there you have nearly 0.5% of a decline in the markets here. Oil in the meanwhile is trading slightly on the higher side. Markets are awaiting the Fed policy statement today on whether there would be any announcement on the stimulus. Apart from that, the Iran signaled that it will take a hard line in nuclear talks, and that also has been supportive for the prices. So there you have more than a percentage point of gains coming in for both those crude prices. Let's get in our guests then, and Vijay Bamwani, author, CEO, BSPLindia.com, joins us in the studios. Also joining us is Sumit Bagadia. He's Head Commodities and Currency Research, Testimony Commodities. Sumit, let me start with you. How do you look at the crude prices? Because while the other things are quite flat, we've seen crude prices jump up quite strongly after European markets opened.
Yes, Manisha, you are absolutely right. We have seen a jump in crude oil prices, but till that time crude doesn't break 4770, a further upside cannot be seen. If prices are able to break 4770 on high side, then there is a possibility that we might see levels of around 4850 or 4930 levels also in next couple of days. As far as NYMEX is concerned, there is a possibility that on breakout above 85 you can see levels of around 87 or 89 dollar. But till the time prices doesn't break these levels, there can be a possibility that we might see correction till 82 or 78 dollar in next couple of days. As far as MCX levels are concerned, I would be a seller at present levels with a stop loss to be placed at 4770 for the downside target of 4650 or below that 4580 levels. So I would be a seller in crude for next couple of days.
Vijay, how are charts showing to you? Are you also selling on these rallies that we have seen in this week?
Well, Manisha, while the overall trend does appear to be somewhat sluggish, let's not forget there are too many external influences by way of news triggers which can create a lot of pull and push on the prices in the absolute near term. So where WTI grade is concerned on the NYMEX, I would look at 88.40 odd levels as a resistance. In case of declines, I would watch 82.5 as a sign of support. On the MCX, I think given another 75 to 90 rupees, I think we would hit a pocket of resistance here. And in case of declines, I think the declines would be a little more in terms of the risk reward. But as I said, the counter is so heavily news laden, and in the coming couple of trading sessions, so many pulls and pushes on the price, that rather than take a directional call on crude prices, I would rather keep my hands off.
Sumit, how would you look at the precious metal space? Because, of course, as Vijay is pointing out, there's lots of news information expected. You have the Bernanke testimony today, and that really would be a huge trigger itself. How do you see the precious metals before that, and how would you take a very near-term call?
See, Manisha, gold has already touched a lifetime high, and it's almost trading near lifetime high only. As far as a very short-term view is concerned, I feel gold is highly overbought, and there should be some correction in next 15 to 20 days. So if you ask me gold view for next 15 to 20 days time horizon, I would be a seller in gold somewhere at around 30,000 rupees or 30,100 rupees. For that, I would keep a stop loss of 30,280, or to be very precise, 30,300 levels would be the stop loss for sell positions. And on downside, I'm expecting gold prices to correct and touch levels of around 29,700. And if price are able to break and give close below 29,650, then a further correction can be seen till 29,300 levels. But this doesn't mean that I'm bearish on gold. This is a very short-term view for next 15 to 20 days. Overall, my view on gold still remain bullish. I'm expecting gold prices to move up in next 3 to 6 months. I'm expecting prices to touch levels of around 32,000 and above that 33,500 rupees. So anytime in corrections till 29,300 or 29,000 rupees, I would be a buyer for long term for the targets of around 32,000 and 33,500 rupees in MCX. As far as COMEX levels are concerned, I'm expecting gold prices to move in a wide range of around $1,580 on downside to $1,730 on high side. So anytime in corrections till $1,600, I would be a buyer. I don't see a major correction in COMEX. I feel in COMEX prices will move up and it can touch levels of around 1680 or above that $1,730 in next 1 to 2 months time horizon.
Vijay, which one are you picking up between gold and silver? What's your sense on where could be a better buying strategy?
Well, Manisha, as with crude oil, I think even precious metals are likely to be fairly news driven. So as far as trends are concerned, they can turn on a dime in the absolute near term. As far as relative comparison is concerned, I think silver is always a relatively higher beta commodity as compared to gold, and therefore tends to gyrate a little more wildly as compared to gold. So momentum players are likely to prefer silver because of the rapid fire movement that it shows. 55,750 is a level I would watch out for. Should it manage to trade consistently above this level, I think it can give you another 3 to 350 rupees in the near term.
Vijay, how have you seen the base metal prices? Because while most of the Indian commodities have seen a bit of a decline because of the rupee appreciation, we haven't seen that happen with the base metal prices. Nickel, lead, zinc, all of them into positive. Absolutely,
Manisha. Yesterday we talked about nickel hitting the 912 levels, aluminium possibly hitting 111 or 112 levels, and you're seeing prices actually inch towards these levels. And base metals as a complex are showing higher relative strength comparative vis-a-vis either the energy or the agri-commodity space. So I would remain a buyer on declines. For example, if you see nickel falling by another 8 to 10 rupees, I would go out and buy nickel. If I manage to see lead falling by 2 or 3 rupees, I would start accumulating lead futures also. As far as zinc is concerned, I think it's a buy only above 106.5. Because once it crosses 106.5, it overcomes a barrier and then basically tends to have upward momentum. My target in that case would be 108.
Sumiti, what's your sense? What are you picking up in the base metal space?
See, Manisha, we have seen a sharp correction in all the base metals in last couple of days. No doubt after a sharp correction there has to be some consolidation or some pullback from lower levels. But somehow I'm not convinced with this upside rally. I feel still there is more room left for prices to move down, especially when we talk of all the base metals like copper, zinc, nickel, lead, aluminium. I feel still there is a room for correction which can give a fall of around 5% to 10% from present levels. But this might take a time of around 2 months to 3 months. As far as a very short-term view is concerned, I feel copper is very good to sell at around 411 rupees or 412 rupees. For that, one can maintain a very small stop loss of around 414 for the downside target of 406 and 399. If by chance my stop loss of 414 is taken away, then too on rise till 418 or 419, I would be a seller in copper for the targets of around 399 and 370 in next 2 month time horizon. So overall, I'm expecting a bearish move in all the base metals.
Alright, so cautious bearish moves coming in for most of those commodities. Of course, it's the Bernanke speech today that markets would be taking some pull or push coming in from.